What language do you use to address your disability and why? I mostly use disabled person because I feel that my disability is a fundamental part of my identity, and plus it's less awkward to say. But depending on the situation, I will use person with a disability if I'm writing for a website where I feel like I'm going to get backlash if I say disabled person, if I'm writing an academic paper and I feel like the professor might have a problem with it. So it really depends on the situation, but my personal preference is disabled person. And I have cerebral palsy. I wish there was a good identity first way to say I have cerebral palsy, but there really isn't. I'm still working on that. What does disability mean to you? Disability to me means an identity. It's not just a single impairment. My disability is not just cerebral palsy. It's the way that my individual impairment, my cerebral palsy, and my anxiety disorder interact with society, society's views of me as a disabled person, the discrimination I face, the oppression that is built into this society towards disabled people. So I feel like you can't just break your leg and say, oh, I'm disabled now, because disability is so complex and it's both a personal and societal issue. So that's what I think disability is. It's really the intersection of somebody's impairment, cerebral palsy, and the way society treats you because of it. When people speak about disability, what do you think is important for them to consider? It's important for them to consider that there is a thing as non-disabled privilege, and that doesn't mean that you're a bad person for being non-disabled, or you're automatically horrible to every disabled person you meet. Privilege just means that you are given advantages in life, in society, because you're non-disabled. You will never be suspected of not being able to take care of your children. You will never be denied a job simply because of your presumed physical abilities. There's a lot of things, but it doesn't mean that you're a bad person or that all disabled people hate you. It just means that it's something that you need to be aware of, and you need to use that privilege to advocate for getting disabled people the equal rights that we deserve. Because when we speak out, we have a marginalized place in society, so we don't have the power and we're less likely to be listened to. But if you have that power, you can use that to make sure that everyone gets what they deserve in life. Identity is thought of as something that is constantly changing based on our daily experiences. How would you talk about your current identity? My identity depends on a lot of things. I mean, being disabled is a large part of my identity, but I'm also female. That's another part of my identity, and being female and being disabled interact in a lot of ways. On the other hand, I also identify as a geek. I'm a sci-fi fan. I am a Trekkie. I love Star Trek. A Whovian. I love Doctor Who. Those are all parts of my identity, parts of what make Cara Cara. Uh, I'm a bookworm. I love to read. I love music. It's all part of what makes me me. And I think to really get a picture of my identity and what makes me me, you'd have to ask somebody who knows me well to say what makes Cara Cara. But there are a lot of things that make me who I am, not just my disability, although my disability is a big part of it.